cause I'm flying away. But I must come back, I must come back. Pull the pilot, the plane around, cause I must come back, I must come back. Go to the street, I'm not what we like. Freaky on a Friday night, later in the evening. Bicycles clubbing, she tell me today we Saturday. Let's go tell me tonight and eat some simple. Then we'll go down to Fuye, kind of beat us on the way up there. Skyride we all up in the air. When we gliding down the people check, everybody clapping hands and they shouting out, can you hear them say? Say who shall we love, mama? Say who shall we love, papa? Say who shall we love? Tell them, say who shall we love? All together, say who shall we love, mama? Say who shall we love, papa? Say who shall we love? All together, say who shall we love? My country is nice, it's a paradise. We drink and spice and go down, go down. The way she go wine and come up, come up. Say she want the cocoa flow, so I give her cocoa. When she bend her back and she push it back and she cock it up, so I grab her back and I go one ticky toe. Say who shall we love, mama? Say who shall we love, papa? As sweet as so. I got a call from overseas and I should be ready today. But I must come back, I must come back. Everyone is waving goodbye cause I'm flying away. But I must come back, I must come back. Pull the pilot, the plane around, cause I must come back, I must come back. Go to the street, that's what we like. Freaky on a Friday night, later in the evening. Let's go tell me tonight and eat some night is the night of prayer. Then we go down to Fuye, kind of beat us on the way up there. Skyride we all up in the air. When we gliding down the people check, everybody clapping hands and they shouting out, can you hear them say? Say who shall we love, mama? Say who shall we love, papa? Say who shall we love? Tell them, say who shall we love? All together, say who shall we love, mama? Say who shall we love, papa? Say who shall we love? All together, say who shall we love? My country is nice, it's a paradise. We drink and spice and go down, go down. The way she go wine and come up, come up. Say she want the cocoa flow, so I give her cocoa. When she bend her back and she push it back and she cock it up, so I grab her back and I go one ticky toe. Say who shall we love, mama? Say who shall we love, papa? Say who shall we love? Tell them, say who shall we love?
We love our island.
Mama, say who shall we love, papa?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
let's
get ready. Let's get very serious.
There is no place as sweet as home.
There's nowhere like the
I got a call from overseas and I should be there today. But I must come back, I must come back. Everyone's waving goodbye cause I'm flying away. But I must come back, I must come back. Pull up by the plane around, cause I must come back, I must come back. Go to the street and that's what we like. Freaky on a Friday night, later in the evening.
I love my island. Let's all your friends. It's very serious tonight. I believe some of the police officers that involved in the decapitation of the head in Denver. I have breaking news. I have evidence. The witness details for the evidence. We have the evidence. I got this evidence from the police. The police evidence. I have evidence with you.
Cocoa flow, so I give up the cocoa. When she bend her back and she push it back and she cock it up, so I grab her back and I go one ticky toe. Say who shall we love, mama? Say who shall we love, papa? Say who shall we love? Say who shall we love?
All right, monster people, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all the noise finished. I'm going to take a deep breath. I will pray because I want God. This is a Holy Bible. I'm just going to read. I always read the Psalms. Let's see. I open the Bible at any place and I open it at Psalms 109, my house ID. Hold not thy peace, O God of my praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me, KKRR. They have spoken against me with lying tongue. They have compassed me about also with words of hatred and thoughts against me. Without a cause, for my love, they are my adversaries. But I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for love. Set thou a wicked over him, and let Satan stand in his hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned and let his prayers be seen. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Bon fini. Let us go into the details of what is happening in our beautiful island, St. Lucia. Now, those of you who are not abreast to the activities in St. Lucia, I will start by telling you all that there have been decapitations. In Denry, they cut a couple heads off already. Now, here's the problem we have, and I want you all to understand why there is this problem of crime in St. Lucia. Let me clarify this crime situation for you all. First of all, we have a guest tonight on our show. Let me just show you a photo of the guest. We have a guest tonight. We have a guest. Where's the guest photo? Where's the guest? And we have a guest. We have a guest. I was trying to get the guest, but damn, where is the guest? I had the guest for guest up at Dula. I gotta book guest. Hold on. Hey, what's happening to the guest? Let me see, clear first Jules. Let me see. Let me see if the guest is on the KKR office and the clear first Jules. I just think guest. I got this one. Okay, so we have a guest tonight, and the guest is gonna come after the show. But I just want to show you a photo of the guest. We have this guest tonight, and the guest will be there. The guest will be on the show shortly. We have this guest here tonight. Okay, boom. Let's get serious on the show, people. We have a guest tonight, and Al Henry. Good night. Amarosa. Good night, my friend. Good night. Good night. Good night, man. Okay. No. I'm going to talk about the police tonight, and I'm very serious about the police because I have people who are part of the police department. As most of you all know, my father, the great Inspector Cyril, Nufashi. He was a police officer. So I have great linkage with the police of St. Lucia. But this is what I want to tell you all. Let me just clarify two things before I go on to what I want to say tonight. The prime ministers, Alan Chasney, Philippe J. Pierre, none of them. I don't want to put them in the puppy show that's going on in St. Lucia, okay? I'm not going to put them in the puppy show of who killed who. This has nothing to do exactly with the prime minister. This is a work in progress. The problem is the people of St. Lucia have their old heart, okay? But here's something that's bothering me. And I will bring one of our ministers. I will mention one of our ministers tonight because I was watching DBS a while ago and I saw the clip before. And I heard Richard Fedrick. I have nothing against him. As you know, I support the Labour Party and his work. But on Thursday, I heard what Richard Fedrick said about the allegations made against him, getting information from the police. Now, I listened to him on Thursday and it was very persuasive, very convincing about why he got the information, why Dale Elliott hit that person in the head, and da. I listened to all of this. Very persuasive, very good case made against him. But I was just going through DBS right now. It's not something I watch too much because Dom Nicholas, Papa Dom Nicholas, do bag playing the washing soap. I fill it up at motor 6 months. Cleophas Jules, Ray Narcis, Shasha Narcis, Pinky Narcis, Troy, Buck. We work for Viber Papeno. Viber do la haso mababe DBS la pedisa. But anyway, I'm just joking by the Viber, you know. But anyway, I watched this clip on DBS and the words were performed. I listened to it and we can play it. I'm not going to play, but what he said was the police giving him information, rushing to give him information. I listened to this and this came back to me from one of the members of the SSU. You know, I have a few friends in the SSU. And a member of the SSU told me one day, he was just talking to me and told me he knows a lot of the killing that's going on with the members of Marigot and those from Babono and the OTF and the BDF and the TTF and the Oh My People F and all the crime that's going on. And he said to me, I'm not going to report these things because these guys inside there themselves, these officers, I'm giving you words. These officers, he never named any officer. These officers inside the SSU and inside the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, they would go back and tell those members of the OTF, FDF, TBDF, Boom F, that he told them this information. Now, what is happening right now in St. Lucia? This crime problem will never stop. Yo mene tet la bay moun nan ki ba de bouche moun nan. Moun nan di se pa tet sa, yo ni de wrong tet. So actuellement, tout moun set disi, zot ni pou gade tet zot bien bébé because yo ka gade bon lot tet. Si yo, moi-même bagay set disi tout yo ba hen lot tet sa. The many heads have been turned. Yo ka gade bon lot tet, yo pa mwen hope yo ba tet Ricky yo pa. The Ricky so then Ricky and Figueroa, I'm telling you all I love you all, do not go back St. Lucia, Ricky. Figueroa, do not go back St. Lucia. Because right now you're in the wrong head. And you're pushing the right head in St. Lucia. But again, this statement of the police, Richard Fedrick may not legally have done anything wrong, legally. But ethically, I think, ethics, let's look at ethics. If the public knows that when the police have information, they will bring it to you. And they don't know if you're going to have retribution, if you're going to harm them, if you're going to affect them politically, if you can affect them in their in the financial lives, they're not going to report. So this is a problem. This is a problem. It may not be illegal, but it is unethical, Richard. It's unethical. It is an unethical thing for police officers bringing those information to you. You should tell them, keep the information. I heard your explanation. I have nothing against you, but I'm a straightforward guy. I heard your explanation. And I called my friend Dismas. I said, wow, that was very, very, very persuasive. Well, what Richard said, that made a lot of sense. But when I heard it on DBS, your exact words, I was disappointed. I was. Now, UWP don't come think me parler bas because I'm giving the truth. Cherish the time. They be not teacher information. But I'm being straight for the people of St. Lucia. I'm being straight for the people of St. Lucia. This is not a good thing for your police officers to be bringing information to any government minister, to any jabal, to any members of other parts of the force. You cannot have this information and bring it out there. What does that say? And that's a fact. He said it. I'm not spinning nothing for anybody. He said it. You can listen to him. He said that your policemen are bringing him information. Okay? Now, he said he spin it properly, make it look good. But you shouldn't do that. You cannot do something like that, police officers. It is not right for you to take information. I mean, it may not be illegal, but it causes confusion. It causes corruption. And on the same token, Mr. Dale Elliott, whoever is giving you that information, it's wrong. It's wrong. Why is Alan Chasney or the DVP, the BBP, more LPP, whatever they are, why are they giving Dale Elliott information that is not in the public sphere? It is under lock and seal. Why are you getting this information? Why is Richard Fedrick getting information about people? It is wrong on both sides. And this is why St. Lucia will always be in the state it is because people have information on other people. And right now, you can't want it. A tout person to see you have case take to Gagadepo because nobody wants to give the right head because they will go back and tell. Junior, news. Me or you junior. You junior the USA you junior. So St. Lucia is just gonna listen to me. I wish you good luck on your beautiful island. I love St. Lucia. And again, I must say, I want to put this on the record. I want to put this on the record. I've listened to the news. I've listened to the killings. I've listened to killings day in, day out in St. Lucia. 99.99999. The chances of a regular person randomly being killed is just as hard as hitting the mega ball, the Powerball, or the mega million in the United States. So, like I say, you go to St. Lucia for a vacation. Your chances of being killed very minuscule. It is possible, but it's not likely that somebody will call you on vacation in St. Lucia. There's a lot of crime, and it has a psychological effect on people coming to St. Lucia. Like we all say, but you go St. Lucia, 99.999% of the time, you don't even hear about the crime until somebody show it to you on the news. The lay person goes to St. Lucia, have a great time. They go back, trust me. I go to Jackmel, I go to Marigot, that's where the crime going on. I go to Babano, I go to Dennery, I go to Vanna, I stay in Sandife, I hang out by, one thing I did, I go by my grandmother's house and I sat in the balcony, just there relaxing. So my pumela, and there was no crime over the night. The only thing I see is Kaku I heard him fly over and he left. But apart from there is nothing to make you fear as a person just going to St. Lucia. We don't want the crime, but it is mostly the small network, the same set of people. See, Yon Patwe OTF, lot like Alebo Bogozik Marigo, lot like Alebo Otsa, they are part of a gang. And yes, you can be hit in the crossfire. So we just don't want this to happen. But I must emphasize, you are much safer in St. Lucia than a lot of places. If you don't interfere, there's no crime without a motive in St. Lucia. Reason one, they sell drugs, they don't pay for the drugs. Reason two, you can call them at the moon got you. Reason three, they all want nice cars, they don't want to work. They all want nice clothes, they don't want to work. The young ladies, a lot of them are involved into bombiology. They do bomb because they don't want to work and they gamble all the money away. But St. Lucia is not a very unsafe place like you'll think. But what is happening on our island right now, this matter of your reporting shit to ministers and reporting shit to journalists, where journalists can come and use this against a political party, that is wrong. And giving ministers information, that is wrong. It is all wrong. And Richard, I'm telling you straight up, you're very good at what you did, but that thing about you do it in a lawyer's capacity, that why would the police just run and bring information? You go through the channel. That doesn't make sense. Okay? And I've told you already, when I listen to you all, I want to listen. When you speak facts, I support facts. But when you speak things that you spin that one. Nobody that was not in a lawyer's or attorney's capacity, what you said there on DBS, that they bring the information to you. That you spin it very well because you're the best. I was giving to you. You're the best. But this is not the truth. This is not ethical. You should not get information from anybody when it comes to person's private life or people's information after they've been arrested. A lot of times these people cannot get a job. In America, they can fire you. The next job you go, you'll never know why that person is not in the job. Because if you stagnate somebody's progress, that person, what will they do? They will continue living in a life of crime because they will not get another job. You already know these guys that Miacho Dale Elliott, nous have ifan chuafam. So a lot of women will be careful with Dale Elliott. Richard seems very convincing. He seems that the fact, but I don't think that was information to put there. Mayhala, say, family, be careful. They'll give you the other good one. Bon, it is something that people have to be careful with putting information out. And sometimes, the case may be won, the case may be dismissed. So there's reasons for all those things. So I'm proposing, and I'm telling the political leaders of St. Lucia, be very careful to get political points to put our people's personal information out there. And the police officers, as I told you all in the beginning, y'all are your worst nightmare. The people in that police force are the policemen are the policemen's worst nightmare in St. Lucia. Is a policeman that tells another police, the guy outside, that police is coming to arrest you, be careful. Monsieur Pablo, when you have demoralized yourself as policemen, you have a police officer, you have to back him up 100%. Yes, if they're bluntly committing crime, you can report them. But it's your job, and it's the job of the police. They should have that police welfare. I don't know whatever they call the police welfare. You look after the welfare of the policemen. Are you having meetings with them? Are you talking to them about being a clan to support each other, not to put things in the police force out? I mean, come on. Don't you think Dale Elliott himself have people working on the inside for him? There are many people out there that has this information. You cannot give it out. And yes, we can spin it as much as we want, but I do a lot of critical thinking. And when I listen, this was a blunder by Richard Fedrick. Yes, it was. You cannot say these people are rushing to bring a document on files on people, because that is not right. What about the people that right now that know information about Bugayo Tetla? Nobody Tetla here. You think somebody will come and tell you where the tet is now? Because they know. They don't know the ministers. Because on some of the information that been out there, some of the top-ranking businessmen and ministers, they were involved in that impact thing. The allegations, right? The allegations. So people are afraid. They're afraid. They're not going to come out and give the facts. Do we want a clean, nice government? We must be fair. We have to be fair. We have to be fair. And my interpretation of things is based on when I listen, I think about it, I speak about it. And at this point, this is my message to the police force. Shut your ass. Keep the stuff to yourself. Keep it within the police department. You don't need to give to King, Richard, Philip, Chasney. Chasney's a lot. Say, who kiba si we say Chasney? Kiba delay bagay kadi this one when this one's supposed to be on the lock and seal. All of you are part of it. And this is why the country is corrupt and messed up. And Dale Elliott making that statement, an allegation, like as if it is so true, so concrete. Listen, we have to be straight in St. Lucia for St. Lucia to be straight. Let me read a comment. KK, don't try that. You know quite well you heard that from Rick Wayne on Newsbeat. Okay, Andy Syria, if Rick Wayne said that on Newsbeat, I did not hear it. Maybe brilliant minds work together. Maybe. I never heard Rick Wayne say that. If he did, he was correct. Okay? No. I listened to DBS, and that was his exact words. The police are bringing the stuff for me. So whatever you say about Rick Wayne, Timothy Polion, everything Philip J.P. does, he against Philip J.P. So I'll probably see a little piece of Timothy. because Team Officer got Mama Martin. But I did not listen to nothing from Rick Wayne. And let me tell you something. What's your name? I don't know. Andy Serial, whatever your name is. Listen. Here's the point. Whether I heard it from Rick Wayne or not, the question is it correct? Did you hear the quote? Is it correct? Is the problem. Not because you may be Labour, I support Labour. I cannot say something that affects the entirety of the country. It was wrong, what he said. 100% wrong. Take it, put it in your pipe, smoke it. Dale Elliott was wrong. Why is it Dale Elliott is wrong? You accept it. And if Richard is wrong, you can accept it. We got to accept it. We cannot get this information. Okay? Nothing was taken in an attorney's capacity. There will be no explanation to say, I'm as an attorney, legally you can get your stuff. That's not what he said. Okay? Cut it off. Stop being political. Let's read. Good night, good night, good night. Let me read. How some politicians are. It is so polarizing in solution. Not easy people are dying just like this. Most people are dying for a reason. Yes, that's exactly what I said. Leander Dovel. People get killed because either they stole somebody's stuff, they did something. Kick it out. Let Dale do what he does best. Journalism. Okay, he's a good journalist, Miss Viola Jonas. And I don't know if you're saying that he's supposed to say whatever he wants or go and get what he wants, but it affects the way people look at the police. It affects the morality of the people of St. Lucia. It does, whether you like it or not. The thing about this whole political spectrum, every time you see I talk the truth, if it doesn't fit the Labour fashion. If it does not fit the UWP fashion. That's why St. Lucia in that mess. And they will kill to stay in power. Next, let me read. Good night, 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 good night. Amarosa, I love you. I love you. Okay, so but that's just basically what I want the people of St. Lucia to know. I am not good night, Nancy Calendar. I support my Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre 100%. I was very disgusted with Dale Elliott for coming and ask all these questions, and Philip J. Pierre is not doing anything about it. But I also cannot be a hypocrite when I hear somebody else say something and just sit back and don't say anything about it. Now we have this biasness. I'm not sure what it is. Some of us are so in love with a politician or with a priest or with a doctor or with some that they cannot go wrong. Let me tell you something. Every day I call him this much because he's a true friend. And every time I don't agree, I say we disagree. But you must be able to clarify things, to justify things. You cannot be one-sided. You have to. 99% of what Richard Fedrick does on his show, I'm in agreement with. But I'm not a zealot like you. I'm not a zealot. I'm an objective person. I'm not a zealot. That statement, it is there for you all to listen to on DBS. And look, you all say I listen to Rick Wayne on there. No. As a matter of fact, I called Rick. What you should call Rick Wayne? Come on, Rick Wayne. You know what I call him for? I said, Rick Wayne, somebody told me there is the impact report. In fact, Lincoln Pascal told me the impact report is all over the place. And they say Lincoln can just UW become a market. You just can't do anything. So I was like, let me read the impact report, impacts or whatever they call it. And I would find out for myself so I can analyze it. But I just call Rick. May Rick come to my power, tell me I'm a But I just laugh. But I call him and ask him all that. But the fact that you're saying I listen to him on, I don't watch all these shows. I have a life as well. I used to be more on Facebook. But as I told you all, if I'm not on Facebook right now, Saturday night, I have my regular job. I can go out there and drive taxi or do something and make some money. But I just chill out. I entertain you all. I talk to you all. Those who want to listen. Listen. Good night. Good night. Good night, Kika. Good night, Shaman. Good night, everyone. So that's all I'm saying. In order to mitigate the crime, we need to respect those documents. And I know that they're probably giving everybody those documents because they are giving it away to everybody. I know a lot about what's going on in the police force sometimes. I don't repeat it because you get your money. But police know and they don't want to tell all the policemen. They don't want to tell all the people. So I'm just making a point. If it is true that y'all are giving Richard Fedrick information just like that, it is wrong. It's wrong. And whoever gave Dale that information is wrong as well. They are just wrong. It's not right. So I will still love y'all. Y'all can watch me. Y'all pas que les bagues ni plus problème sur la témoin ça. De vous dire bagues yo pas d'accord les bagues fâché bon. You don't be yo pas fâché bon. Ça qui veut c'est that's why I don't want to be too deep into politics. Me yo fâché be cherish the time. Cherish the time gababi. Good night, good night, good night. Good evening. Heidi, long time. Miss Heidi, where have you been? Martha, good night, good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Charmaine. Good night, Nancy. Good night. So, I don't have much to tell you all. This thing came up, and I wanted to ask people about it. So, I made my point. But you look like a priest. Father Albert. Father Albert. Yes, I want to be a priest. No, it's a bit cold, and I just put a little warm stuff, and I have the white background. So I put this in case the comments had some issues on there. But it's always a person. Sometimes there's great news. Oh, by the way, my sister Andrea, if you all don't know, let me show you all a poster for you all too. I want you all to support. I want you all to support my sister. She's going to Kodeda. This is my sister Andrea. So here she have my sister have a problem. Let me read for you all. Cake Lady Andrea. Now, keep an Andrea tourné blanc comme ça. Il met les portes, regardez. Est Andrea blanc. Andrea the Cake Lady. Comment dire? Andrea. Andrea just point pour tout le monde et qui met des assos bagaille. Lucian Style Venue, 485 East 86th Street, Foster and Farragut. Donation $25. Maybe that Sunday, November the 5th. That's Andrea. So, tant bagay la sa. Ini celebrate Kavini, Invader is coming. Invader is flying all the way from St. Lucia to come and perform at Andrea, my sister's house. Ek Andrea ka di mwen pou drive New York. Mwen se celebrity. Ou ka bay Invader la han, ou ka bay Invader ticket, $2,000 ticket. Plus, you can invade $3,000 to perform, US dollars, that's 10,000 EC dollars. Ek mwen ki fò, ou ka di mwen pre moun ka mwen, ek vini la pou entertain. No, mwen ve la han, mwen ke show up. Mwen ke show up pièce. Si yon diyo kwe mwen show up, mwen ke show up pièce. La vini ka di mwen, your brothers will be there. He said, say for mwen ve chou mwen. He ka di mwen, vini Brooklyn, your brothers will be there. Pa mwen ka vini Brooklyn la. But those of you on November 6th, if you're in Brooklyn, go and see Andrea, my sister. I will shut up the flyer for you all because I like my sister no matter what. Unfortunately, Lexi will look about the mama, but I may support her, so it will be November 6th. She says a Sunday, but November 6th is not a Sunday. November 6th is a Monday. But it's the Sunday. See about 6 say fix. See about 6 say 5th on a Sunday. Please support my sister. I love her a lot. She makes the cake. She makes the cake for Philip J. Pierre. I'm an objective person too. But Richard Fedrick, right, KKR, you said that. You want the masters to clear the name when being lied about, and that's exactly what Richard does. I'm not gonna argue. Let me say something about that. I listened to part of Richard. I don't watch the whole show because I'm always doing something. But on the lunchtime the next day, I listened to the show. And what I got from Richard was, as an attorney, he would get documents if he needs to. It's called discovery, okay? Because that's how the case is. If you bring me to court, whatever, there will be no like surprises in the courthouse. Most of the time, you would have the evidence on me, and I would have the evidence on you. Whatever evidence the defendant has, the prosecution will have. Okay, so your this is called it's called a discovery, where they would present the documents to Richard. If, let's say, a case against Dale Elliott and he's representing the defendant, they would bring that document to him so he see what he's dealing with, so he can have a defense. Let's say he said Dale Elliott give the girl a punch, bam. So the lawyer would say, did he actually punch the girl? Was it in self-defense? Because you already knew that. But if he goes to court and just boom, they say Dale Elliott punched a person, he's surprised. He wasn't prepared for that. So that's what I got from Richard Fedrick. He was getting this information in the capacity of an attorney getting discovery evidence. Okay? So that's what I thought this was about. When I listened to him, it made a lot of sense. But I did not hear the clip. I was sitting today, I have my iPad right there. I was sitting today at my desk because I came from work. I cooked some food, made some CMOS, and I saw DBS played the clip. And I heard Richard said he can get the documents from the police. They're ready to bring him documents. They're in a hurry to bring him documents. That has nothing to do with a case. That is just policemen bringing stuff for him to have files on people. That's my understanding of things. So I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm saying it's unethical. It's unethical. And this is one of the problems while people are not reporting. You want to be a witness, huh? I'm next to him. Witness, huh? Because they're afraid of retribution. They're afraid of people having that information. Welcome back, keep him, because they're afraid of you. Alex Henry, good night. You know what I mean? Support Henry, my brother. Blood is figure down water. Support her, my brother. Alex Henry, yeah, my sister, I love her. Oh, Father kick out. I in that. Okay, Father kick out. I in that. Yes, come and support Heidi. Come support my sister. But I just wanted to clarify what I get. But again, I want to emphasize that I'm not saying anything negative on my party, the Labour Party, or on Philip J. Pierre and crime. Philip J. Pierre, as I said before, this man has done the most to mitigate crime. The most in any prime minister in St. Lucia. The crime problem is basically between gang members and people that don't pay people that there's always an issue related to this. There's something related to it. So it's not you just go on vacation and have a good time. But at the same time, be careful where you go, because you might get a shooting. Man, you're really looking like a priest. Let me pray for you. One Bible man. Yeah, I look like a priest. Yeah, but so I want you to clarify this. I'm not there. I'm here to inform. I'm here to dissect things. I'm here to put things in order. I am not a Kogo. I keep on saying that to you. This, are we looking after our St. Lucia? Or are we looking for a party? Are we just there to keep Philip JP in power? Or are we there because we love his work? And because right now at this point, despite what happened in those political Philip J. Pierre is poised to be the prime minister for a while. There is nothing Chastney and them have to come back in power. All they do is put diapers. And that is not going to help them. So it's not that I'm saying I'm against Philip J. Pierre. I'm just, what is in the news is what I'm talking about. I understand my brother, and I respect your opinion. Thank you, Mr. Alex Henry. So my point is, I respect everyone, but if you cannot talk justice and truth, you'll be a puppy show. I've tried to support UWP many times, but they don't fit my moral compass. They're all about winning and nothing substantial. They don't want to help the country. So when I make a point, I know some of you love Richard Fedrick to death. No matter what he says, you're going to fall for him. Some of you love Shasty to death. Moi, même Philippe Jepier to death. So, but this is our innate biasness. We're just biased. We have to look at the facts. It's not right to get information, neither by Dale Elliott, neither by Richard Fedrick, neither by anybody. Because everybody's going to be afraid to go to the police if they know the information has a possibility of being out in the public sphere. Yep. They're not going to tell anybody. On St. Lucian's, I am not sure what is happening to those young people. I don't know where they come from. I don't know how the heart has become so tight. The people just don't care. They have no love. So there's nothing anybody can do about it. There's just nothing we can do about it. That is something you have to get those kids in their young years and maybe more religion. Although I'm not a big fan of just believing everything people tell me, but that will help us make our lives better. So as I go tonight there and sleep to wake up tomorrow to go and pay more bills, it's my show. Those of you who want to come and watch me, sometimes things are interesting, sometimes it's a bit boring, sometimes it's factual, but you all have to have an open mind. An open mind. And if you love somebody, you will tell them what they're doing is wrong. You will let them know. You cannot kiss up to everything everybody says. You're bold and straight up, you don't afraid of your skin. Okay, I'm sick of the people and it's getting worse. Well, Francine Jean-Baptiste, I agree with you, it's getting worse. It is getting worse. But what can we do? What can we really do? All we can do is try to get our children out of the... Well, my kids are born in the United States. Oh, say God. So I don't have to take... But people who have children, you get them out. It's just sad. Like, when I'm in America, in North Carolina, there's killings everywhere as well. But there's a sense of security in America because the respect for law enforcement is amazing how people respect the law. Very few people disrespect the police, The police they abuse it sometimes. But there's a law. There's law. People respect authority. St. Lucia, people don't respect authority, and the police live next to you. The police will let you pass with something. They catch you for a gun. The neighbor say, so there's not, and that is a third world country, island mentality. It is not nothing much people can do about it. I have benefited sometimes from this thing. And I can tell you, when I graduated from Mount Fortune Technical College, a prime example, I went to Mr. Jackson and I saw a job. He said there was no jobs. On my way home, my father was there. He said, son, where are you coming from? I said, Daddy, Cyril, I want to look for a job, but there's no job. He said, Cleophas, didn't you graduate? I said, yes, Daddy. Vinny, he grabbed me by the hand, took me exactly to Mr. Jackson. He said, Mr. Jackson, I want my son. He said, first of all, he said, Cleophas, present your diploma. Mr. Jackson, my son has graduated. I want him to work on Monday morning. The man tell me come to work Monday. That same place I just left. So there's nepotism in St. Lucia. That is how it is. It's a different mentality. They all just want you to say, they don't know how hard you work in the United States. They just want you to give them money, give them things. It is, and it's very difficult for you to, they have that old mentality of building big house. You take care of that kind of idea. You're not there. Madam, you have more. You need 22 bedrooms. You must have même marché. Sorti en yon bedroom and another bedroom. But they want to have the biggest house. It's just the mentality. It is just a sick mentality in the Caribbean. That's how they are. Kigara is not just an ocean that's getting worse. The world is, no matter where in the world you are, there's exactly, Mama Rosa. I said that. I love you very much. Let me say good night to you. It's not St. Lucia getting worse, but Kigara is not just St. Lucia getting worse. Mama Rosa, I agree with you. You're one of those smartest person. But I didn't hear you say anything about the statement of the police bringing information. I don't know if you're hiding. Super labor fire. But you're always an objective person. So if so St. Lucia is just, I don't know. All we can do is support those we have there. And that's all we can do. We can just but God bless those who are trying their best, including my good Prime Minister Fedrick. God, he's such a calm, sort of gentleman. What can we do? But I just want to let you all know, do not divulge information that will affect other people, that prevents them from wanting to come forward, which will exacerbate the crime in St. Lucia. Now, that's all I'm telling you. That's my opinion. It may sound like somebody said it before, maybe because it's true, maybe because my analogy is a great analogy, because I did not hear what Rick Wayne said. Don't give him a Rick Wayne because Rick Wayne, Rick Wayne, for the power. My shame, I shall give them about Rick Wayne. But Amarosa, crime is all over the living in end of days. Last night I was watching a program. I don't know if most of you will do that. One of my favorite programs, I sit down at night and I just watch, technology and things that's happening. And, looking at the artificial intelligence. And they are saying right now, artificial intelligence, the guy with the highest IQ, which is Einstein, I think his IQ was 250 something. Artificial intelligence, there's one of them that's as close as 300 IQ. So we're in trouble. But you know what? Your opinion is good, my bro. Thank you very much, Alexis Henry. So we just got to be fair to each other. That doesn't mean I disagree. See, when you analyze things, you have to give a proportion, a percentage. Like I always tell Lincoln Pascal, Philip JP is not perfect. Like every student, you fail sometimes, you win sometimes, but at the end of the 4 years, are you good enough to graduate with your bachelor's? And that's what it is. Richard has more positive than negative, but I have to bring this point up because my job as an analysis, I analyze information and I give it out. If you like it, you don't like it. If you don't support me, that's how it is. But I will not compromise my integrity for anybody. I believe, KKR, that the police can give information once it's done, once it does not compromise anyone's safety or any information that's been litigated in the courts or on pending courts matter. So, Mr. James, let me ask you a question based on what you said there. If it's not been litigated, if it's not there for any particular reason, why give it out in the first place? For what? The only other thing is to use against the person. So I don't think police should not give out jack. That's not your dumb business. You arrest the person, seal. Except if they subpoena somebody to open this record. Everything should be sealed. Sealed, capesh. Now, the only thing I can say, seems you more objective than the best. Well, thank you. And maybe we need to be open up. We need to be open, transparent for the world to go right. I support labor. I'm not going to come down and say I don't support labor. But I'm one person. I say how I feel. Now, I may not be right. Everybody has an opinion. And that's my opinion. Charles said PGP needs to get beaten. Get beaten You think that's something for the man to say? Okay, first of all, Shastney and the UWP, to me, they just hanging for straws. It's wrong. And I want to tell you something, Miss Francine. Not because I disagree with a statement that Richard Fedrick made, that I am against the Labour Party. Let me re-emphasize that. I am not against the Labour Party. I'm just against a particular statement which can have implications on the country and crime. Okay? That's it. Now, Shastney and them and flogging people and beating people. I mean, but even with that thing about beating people, I don't think Shastney literally means to beat Philip J. Pierre. But he being a Caucasian person talking about flogging people, that doesn't look too good. Even though it doesn't mean it, it just don't look good. There's certain things you can say as a black person you cannot say as a white person. And certain things as a white person you cannot say as a black person. Because we have been through slavery and the amount of oppression we have been through and the whipping that we have gone through. Roots. These things, you can't say these things like that. You can't just say these things lightly. So I don't support him. So Francine, don't think I support this. I don't support none of the nonsense Shastney and them doing. I was just making a point. So I want you to understand that. I'm not saying I'm not supporting Labour. I'm saying this has to be taken seriously. We have to be really, really, really careful when we say things. Now it could be now if we say he misspoke, or that's what he meant, that's human being. Fine. But based on what I heard, I'm telling you how I felt. That sounds like a race card. Yep. The reason why Richard Fedrick said that he was pissed with those nonsense they're saying about him. Well, if he didn't mean it, he shouldn't keep his ash. Rosa, I really love you. But that's the life. Marissa, thank you for always coming and watching. I thank you all for the support. But I have to go and do some stuff. And if the news is there, be safe out there, people. You're looking for somebody head in Denry. They got the wrong head. Be careful. Take care of yourself. Love each other. And there'll be breaking news. You can leave Facebook for about a year. What have you got a breaking news every afternoon? If just even get in power, he will definitely enjoy flogging Labour members. That's quite possibly. Yes, Alex Henry. Yes, well, possible. Because, listen, I'm an entertainer. I'm a guy who gives some news. But the point is, Richard Fedrick, 99% of what he says, I support. He knows that. So if I don't support 1%, he's not a perfect man. So he can't expect me to support everything he says. Simple as that. Sometimes you just have to accept you make a mistake and move on. So, next chapter. Have a great night. Let me go and sleep. Goodbye. See you all tomorrow. Or maybe 2 weeks, my love. Bye-bye. End the stream.